Right, it is 7 minutes past the top of the hour. Karibu sana, it is a Tuesday, and definitely around this particular hour tunakupeleka kotini ama tunakufunza maswala ya sheria. Yours truly Stanley Nyaringita. I hope umekuwa na asubuhi mwanana. And joining us this particular morning, she's an advocate of the High Court. She's not a new face for this kind of conversations. Ruth Tanui, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me again.
Now, for today's conversation is something that touches a lot of people.
Yes.
I'd say everyone really.
Yes.
Because in case mtu alikuambia nisaidie na 2K urgently, alafu kaenda a couple of months and they never repaid this 2,000 urgently, it really falls on this. So first off, even as we're going to be talking about the small claims court, even for the viewer, you can always call in live 0795 045 864. Hiyo ndio namba yetu ya kutupigia simu. When you do so, tell us your name, where you're calling us from, and if you have a question or a comment, kindly have your TV off. You can also text us on WhatsApp 0793 267 279. I'll be sampling your feedback as you continue. 22047 is our SMS number. And for today, unaweza tuambie tu ni nani ulikopesha pesa na hajarudisha. Hatutakuwa tunampigia simu, no. But then we'll be just telling you how you can get your money back through the legal way. So wakili, even as we continue, tunatumia hypothetically ya mtu alikopeshana. Let's put it at what, 500,000 for example. Early in the year, at January. All these months, it's a few days to the end of the year. Na bado, anasema nirudishie pesa zangu, the 500,000. How can this person be helped?
So the first thing is you normally need to do a demand letter or a notice to sue to the person you intend to sue. Because I've seen in most instances, if you don't do that demand letter, court will not give you costs. Even if you go to court and you win the case, they will not give you costs. So it's important for you to send it's just a simple letter telling this person to pay you your 500,000 within a period of, let's say, reasonable time, maybe 7 days, 14 days. And if they don't pay you back, you're going to take them to court. Then when that time lapses is when now we come now to this, you can now file your claim.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So even before we get into this, you can also see this claim form has your small claims court, which will also be helping understand what is the difference between this and even other courts. So it's been 11 months now. This person hasn't yet refunded the 500,000. How do you draft? I mean, I have not studied law. I've not gone to any law school. So this person is wondering, how do I sit down and draft a demand letter? Or do I have to come to you as a lawyer to help me with that?
Yeah, you normally get a lawyer to draft you the letter. But if you can't afford a lawyer, you can do the letter yourself. Because it's just a simple letter. They have said, demand, you can even put it as a notice to sue or a demand notice for you to pay me my 500,000.
So it doesn't have any format to it?
Yeah, it doesn't have any format. But at least it has to be, you're demanding, just basically you demanding your money for this person to pay your money. And it's just a simple, most of the time it's a one page, can be one page. Yeah, it's a simple letter.
Okay. Just
you telling the other party, basically just giving this party a notice that if you owe me this much and you have not paid for this period, and if you don't pay me within 14 days, I'm going now to take legal action. Yeah, you can say I'll take legal action, it's basically going to court, or you can even simply say I'll take the matter to small claims court. Do
I have to give this demand letter to you physically?
Yeah, it's important for you to serve that letter. It doesn't have to be physical. You can serve via WhatsApp. At least nowadays, the civil procedure rules allow service via WhatsApp.
Oh, okay.
So you can serve via WhatsApp, you can serve via email, or you can get a court process server, or now you yourself can serve the person. What if I
didn't see your WhatsApp message?
No, it's assumed the moment it ticks, you don't have to, so long as, everyone knows when it has 2 gray ticks, the person received, or blue.
Okay.
It shows that the other person received the message.
Right.
Yeah, so that's why you'll print out that message to confirm service to the other party.
So do I have to, now if mimi ndo niko na 500,000 yako, do I have to answer you in these days, if you, in this demand letter, you tell me in the next 7 days, kama hutakuwa umerudisha my 500,000, tunapelekana koti. And I do not answer you in these 7 days, is there any effect?
Yes, because now for you, the person who wrote the demand letter, you have given them 7 days. So if they don't, of course, now for you who owes the 500,000, if you don't respond, this person, chances are the person will take you to court.
Okay.
Will file the case. And I normally tell people at this stage, now cost goes higher. You know, as opposed to if we settle this before it goes to court, even that person will not charge you for costs because they have not filed a suit in court. So that person may just be, or even interest. So that person may just be seeking the 500,000 flat.
Okay.
But the moment now it goes to court, that's another story.
Right.
The other person might request you to pay costs and
Okay.
interest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So the viewers hearing us talk about the courts, and they'd probably think it's the normal, let's say, high court and all that. Here we have the small claims court. So help us understand, how different is the small claims court to all others? How long have we ever even had the small claims court?
Yeah, so the act itself was from 2016, but the court started in I think it's May 2022 is when the courts now officially, when our current CJ, Chief Justice, came in. She's the one who gazetted and started the process now of courts actually being there. But the act itself was introduced in 2016. So the difference between all the small claims and these other courts is the nature of the suits that are taken.
Okay.
For small claims and the pecuniary amount involved. For small claims, I think I'll start there, which will help people understand it's less than 1 million. It's a maximum of 1 million, 1 shillings to 1 million. If it's more than that, the court doesn't have jurisdiction over it. So that's why you will take it now to, because Chief Magistrate, it's the maximum of 20 million. But it doesn't mean, you can take a suit, you don't have automatically to take, if your suit is below 1 million, it doesn't mean the law requires you to automatically take your suit to small claims. You can still file in the Chief Magistrate Court.
Okay.
It's just that small claims is just limited. And then also the nature of the suit. If it's employment matter, you can take it to small claims. If it's issue of land, you can take it to small claims. If it's defamation, you can take it to small claims. Small claims only handles like contracts for money or any type of contract, breach of contract. And then there's also the issue of money held or received. And then tort, liability of tort whereby property has been damaged, like someone damages your car. And then the issue of, they also deal with personal injury, personal injury claims or set-offs. So those are the things that the small, so that's why it's important for you. It doesn't mean that automatically, for instance, if you're paid a salary of 50,000 and you quit your job and you owe your employer 50,000, you can take your case to small claims. It doesn't have jurisdiction.
That will go to the employment.
Yeah, you have to take it to the employment and LRC, Employment and Labor Court.
All right.
Yes.
All right. There's something that you've mentioned, and I'm pretty sure a number of viewers were like, hold a minute. 1 shilling to a million, okay.
Yeah.
Some would view, if for example, mtu alikuwa na 1,000 bob, like the same example I was giving, for 2,000 bob urgently. Is that really, first of all, since 2022 until now, is this oftenly seen that such seemingly smaller amounts of monies, 2,000 bob, 500, hizo, mtu anapelekana koti juu hiyo?
Yeah, people take as low, but the one I've seen in practice is 4,500. There's even someone wanted me to sue someone for 4,500. And it's mostly, because I think it was an event they paid for, one of these events, and then they didn't, he went and they didn't allow him to get in, and he had paid. So he wanted to sue them.
Okay.
And he was so serious, because even I was telling, like when you give them your legal fees, now you're telling me the amount will not make sense. Because the amount I'll charge you for representation and the amount, but they were willing to pay.
Okay.
They're willing to pay above 50,000 just to sue for this amount.
Right.
Yeah. So, but I think the least that I've seen is 4,500 in practice.
So, Okile, let's use a hypothetical. Let me open another page here. Let's use a hypothetical of someone who wants 5,000 bob, for example.
Yeah.
And they decide, I don't want to go through you.
Yeah.
So when you started, you told us about the demand letter.
Yes.
And there was a space of, let's say, 7 days.
Yeah.
That this person, let's call this person Abel, for example. Yeah. Abel anaambia, let's say, Wendy, that in the next 7 days, my 5,000 bob iko imerudi. So without now having gone through the lawyer, will Abel have to pay the small claims court?
Yeah, there's normally the fees, filing fees. So I think for 5,000 shillings, they'll pay 100 bob or 200 shillings file. But that's the only amount you pay until you get your judgment.
100 bob.
Yeah, I think 100 or 200. I think it's
Okay.
200.
200.
200 to 1,000, because it's normally 200 to 1,000 shillings.
Okay.
So I think this list amounts you pay 200, but I'm not, or maybe 100. I'm not sure, but I think it's around 200 shillings.
All right.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, if now Wendy's to pay Abel, it would be the same amount, or how will that work?
So, but there's costs. You know, you'll seek for costs if you go to court.
Okay.
So if, for instance, now Abel doesn't pay Wendy that 5,000, and she proceeds to court, she'll get that 5,000 plus costs and interest, because court you'll seek for costs and interest. The good thing is this format, it helps you because you just have to tick what you can you. Like,
Yes, you can definitely just stand and help us walk through this.
Because you see, I can also use my hands.
Yes.
Okay. So as you can see from here, there's this part where you choose. Here, of course, you'll set who, if you're seeing an individual, you'll take individual. It's here. So here, at least now you'll see, for the 5,000 you're talking about, it is a contract relating to money,
So this
had
is
and received.
for the bit of the nature of claim.
Yeah, so that's why you'll take this.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll take this because this is beyond nature. Now Wendy will get this form and take this part.
Okay.
Yeah, and then now you have to state the day and the sum. This is
Alright.
important because of interest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then you give a brief. Now maybe now she'll say, let's say it was beginning of this year, in January 2023, Abel asked me to loan him this amount, to give him this amount. I gave him the money, but he has never paid me back.
All right.
Yeah, but it's also important for you to attach evidence.
Okay.
Like,
Kidogo tu wacha nikurudisha hapo kwa interest where you had mentioned hapa, where you talked about the date as well, so that the viewer can also understand this. When you have this claim form that you are looking at here, is it, now in our case here, is it Abel who says, nilikupea 5,000 bob, hii ndio itakuwa, so anakaa chini anafanya hesabu ya minus, anaona this will be the interest rate. Who determines the interest rate?
it's normally court.
Okay.
Court is the one that will determine the interest rate. Yeah, court is the one that gives the cost and the interest.
Okay.
Yes.
What does it, what are the factors that it looks like at?
So it will depend, but now you can state, remember when we started, I told you we normally don't, for us lawyers, if you come and, if I sue on your behalf, we don't even use this.
Okay.
We don't use this form, we just do a normal, the way we file suits in the Chief Magistrate, we just do a blank document and we fill it. But, so, if it's now for instance, you know, the reason of interest is, if maybe you're giving me that 5,000 and I was supposed to pay by 30th of March.
Okay.
And then I don't pay by 30th of March, but you're suing me in August. You know, you'll seek interest from March to August. Yeah, so that's why putting the date is important.
All right,
Yeah.
all right.
Sorry.
So in this claim form, even as because you're scrolling down, there's also this bit of the what is the remedy / relief. Sort help us understand this as well.
So this one, most of the time, it's normally advisable just tick all of them. Yeah, because this is judgment in the sum of, so maybe now you're seeking 5,000.
The 5,000.
For Abel and Wendy's
Yes.
story, 5,000. And then cost of the claim to be assessed by court, you also take this and any other relief. Because you know court can decide maybe to give you something. So it's normally important you just, because even when you normally do the normal drafting of other suits, we normally include this. Yeah.
All right. You had mentioned about attaching evidence, and even before we scroll down here, this has been about 3 months so far, and every time Abel is telling Wendy, nirudishie 5,000 bob yangu.
Yeah.
And the feedback that Abel is getting from Wendy is not really a positive kind of a feedback. Can Abel attach that here and tell the court, nimejaribu but ananiongelesha vibaya huyu?
Yeah, so evidence, basically your evidence will be something. Remember, the magistrate doesn't know anything about you,
Yes.
your contract. So that's why anything that will prove that this person owes you the 5,000. So
Okay.
sometimes it might be you didn't have a written contract. Maybe it was just an oral
Yes,
contract.
yes.
So that's why those messages are going to be important. So you'll print out those messages from WhatsApp, if it's WhatsApp or whatever, or even if it's the normal messages, and then you attach them, because that will be your proof to show that you have been asking for your money.
Okay.
Yeah, you have been asking for your money, and then also you have also to attach maybe how you send that 5,000 towards by M-Pesa. You at least print out the M-Pesa statement. You get the M-Pesa statement from Safaricom and attach it as evidence.
All right.
Yeah.
So now the other messages would come in handy in case this was just a cash kind of transaction.
Yeah, it's
Na
also
hakuna any M-Pesa.
Yeah, so it's important. I normally tell people, even in situations where you didn't have any written contract, it's very important to have that information, like while texting. That's even sometimes we'll normally even dictate to our clients how they'll write those messages to make sure we have enough evidence to take it to court.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. So when I'm attaching the evidence, na screenshot ile M-Pesa message ama your number, how does that happen?
So if it's not between Wendy and Abel, so I'm assuming, of course, you're not lending a stranger, so maybe
Yes.
Abel had saved Wendy. It's very important for you to first unsave.
Wow.
Because remember, court will want proof. Because you know, it's very easy. I can get your number and save you as Wendy. Yeah, the only way people know it's your number is if I unsave it and someone can see this, and then maybe you can use Safaricom, send some money, and then have that proof.
That shows the full name of
Yeah,
Wendy as well.
This number belongs to Wendy.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's important for those. The mistakes people normally make is they print out with the name. It doesn't matter, yeah, even though it's Abel suing Wendy, you know, it doesn't mean that because the name is written Wendy, court will be like, it's Wendy. It can be any, you know, you may decide to just, you need to maybe have evidence and you have two numbers. Instead to text your other number, just to make sure you have evidence, and then you save it as Wendy. So that's why it's important for you to unsave it.
All right.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, najua so far as Wakili has pointed it out, najua mko hapo kwa hiyo bracket. Yeah, either someone has your money or you have someone's money. You can call us live 0795 045 864. Well, when you call us live, tell us your name, where you're calling us from, and kindly have sauti ya TV yako off. Uliza wakili hizo maswali zote zenye unataka kujua. Amesema hata 5,000, so that means even hata 200 bob yenye jirani yako ako nayo mnaweza pelekana koti. It also goes on to say, filing this claim, I, the claimant. So this, in our case here, the claimant is now
Filing on their own.
Abel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Representing themselves. Yeah.
Right. The number of days. So, for example, Abel does this on, has this claim.
Before when you go, you see now here, this is why, you see now, this means it has to be, you see here they are telling you, so you know. By filing this claim, I waive and forfeit the recovery of all sums in excess of 1 million.
Okay.
So that means even if the amount you're supposed to be given by court is less than 1.2, court can only give you 1 million.
Your 0.2 imeenda to.
Yeah, or even 1.5. Court, you know, people normally think that since I've gotten the 1 million, maybe I can go maybe to the chief magistrate, to the other court to say, no, you can't sue someone twice on the same cause of action. So that's why it's very important you be aware that but some people, because of the timelines of the small claims, they prefer to just, even though it's 1.2, just like the other court, I'll pay more to file my suit. It will take more time. So let me just forfeit the 200 and only get my 1 million.
All right.
Yeah.
Are you telling us that you cannot appeal anything that small claims court? But then even as you do that, we do have nani kutoka Utawala? Andrew kutoka Utawala, habari asubuhi?
Mzuri, habari yako?
Yangu iko salama. Kuna mtu ako na pesa yako ama uko na pesa ya mtu?
Wengi wako na pesa yangu.
Ay. Sasa sijui utasaidika. Uko na swali specifically for wakili. She's listening to you.
Yes.
Unaweza muuliza directly? Yes.
Yes.
Endelea na swali, Andrew. Andrew, endelea na swali.
Nauliza. I gave someone money.
Yes.
He paid part of it.
Okay.
Tukaenda kwa police station just to try to sort it out.
Right.
But the police say this guy knows it's no longer a criminal case. It's a civil case. So he can just try to pay time.
Okay.
It's now 1 year.
Okay.
How do I get assistance?
All right. For the purposes of this, unaweza tupatia range. Si lazima ikuwe exact, but range ya amount of money.
I gave 100,000.
Okay.
He has been paying bits for the last 1 year.
Okay.
The balance is now about 20,000.
All right. So.
And the guy has money. It's not that he doesn't have. He's a business person.
Okay. Wacha niache wakili akusaidia.
Okay.
Kwa hiyo pesa, so uzuri, kwanza uko na good evidence, do you have proof amelipa the other balance? So you can seek part, the amount that has not been paid. So ndio tulikuwa tunasema unaweza enda small claims kuseek the 20,000 yenye hajalipa.
Where is this court in Nairobi?
It's now for you, since you have said you're in Utawala, so you unaweza file small claims Milimani. Milimani. So you can go, unaweza enda court, they'll guide you. Wanaguidingi mtu anakuwa, hata hii form wanaweza kupatia na wanakuguide the way you can file your suit. Unaenda tu Milimani na una request small claims court registry.
Okay, so let me go there. I hope now the guy will be compelled to pay.
But the other option is you can get a lawyer amwandikie demand letter. Yeah, to demand first, and then if he doesn't pay, and maybe you give him 14 days, and then if he doesn't pay, you go forward now to court. You take the legal action.
Okay, if I can ask as well, now if I engage a lawyer will ask me maybe 10,000. I am claiming 10,000. Is this guy going to?
No, or maybe anyway, or maybe what you can do is you can even draft the letter yourself, because the way I've said it's just a simple letter whereby you are just demanding your money. Like your subject will be you're demanding your 20,000 that is yet to be paid, that he owes you, and then in your letter you just state that you have been promising to pay this money since according to the timelines. If you don't make payment within 14 days, I'm going to go to court. You can do the letter yourself.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Right, so sawa. Asante sana Andrew, salimia sana watu Utawala.
Thank you, Dr.
Yes, huyu ni Andrew kutoka Utawala, amesaidika. 0795045864 is the number to call us live. Wakili will be helping you understand if someone has a certain amount of money, hata kama ni ile ya 2K urgently. Yes, atakusaidia ujue how, if you in case unataka kuenda the route ya mahakama na koti and all that, utakuwa unaelezewa sahihi. So call us live. You can also text us in case utaki tusikie sauti yako. Text us on WhatsApp 0793267279. Message yako ikiingia hivi nitakuwa ninauliza wakili. There are a number of things that I raised, even because I know you are taking a look at this claim form, but still on that train of thought, ameongelelea maneno ya went to the police as well. So tuanze na hiyo, because for such an amount of money, one would not really, for the security purposes, hatataka kuenda and approach someone amwambie we nirudishe pesa zangu. They'd want to have presence of police or security operators just to probably kuonyesha mwingine nimekuja na polisi, so you know this is a heavy matter.
Instill pressure.
Yes. First of all, before the eyes of the court, how will that play out?
So, you know, there's normally criminal and civil. But by the time you're going to a criminal court, you're going the criminal way, because going to the police is you've chosen the criminal way. So someone needs to know criminal is punitive. It's not, you don't get damages. So even if for him, let's say for instance, the police would have taken up the case and taken him to court for maybe fraud, or if it's stealing by servant or whatever reason, the charge will be, at the end of it, you don't get back your money.
Okay.
The only thing maybe court will state is that you're supposed to be, like, you pay a fine of this, because it's a misdemeanor. That will be, it falls under misdemeanor.
All right.
Yeah.
Tuchukue simu ya George. George kutoka wapi? Athi River. George. Hello George, habari ya Athi River? George umepotea tena. Okay, sawa. Tupigie tena. And that goes for everyone out there. 0795045864. So in case you're just joining us right now, we are focusing on the small claims court that focuses on disputes that are below the value of 1 million Kenyan shillings. And so far we've been taking a look at different cases. Before tulikuwa na Kola kutoka Utawala, ameraise akasema akona mtu mwenye akona deni yake ya 100,000. Ameenda kwa polisi wakajaribu hii maneno, and that is what you're explaining.
Yeah.
And so you've told us about the criminal bit of it. So and you've also advised him kukuwa na ile demand letter.
Yes.
So this person might be evasive after all this.
Yeah.
And then siku ya mentioning of the case ifike. Help us understand that. But before that, tuko na Kola. Mwangi, habari asubuhi?
Mzuri sana.
Unatupigia ukiwa wapi?
Napigia nikiwa Rongai, Kajiado County.
Habari ya Kajiado?
Kajiado iko sawa.
Uko na swali for wakili?
Yeah, niko na swali.
Yes, anakusikiliza, endelea.
Suppose suppose umesave na sako. Na umeambiwa kama unataka pesa yako back, unaandika barua, unaongoja 3 months. Hiyo 3 months ikiisha wasiporudisha, unaweza saidikaje?
All right.
Yeah.
So
It's okay about the demand
yes,
letter.
yeah, you can.
Barua uandiki uwape 3 months, unapatia at least 7 days, 14 days, maximum maybe 21 days.
Na wanasema ni 3 months ndio unaongojea ndio uifandiwe pesa.
Hapana, it's not 3 months.
Yeah.
Si 3 months. Kwa sheria si 3 months. Ni hata watu maximum unaweza pea mtu maybe 21 days. 7 days, 14 days.
Yes, hiyo ni Mwangi kutoka Kajiado. But then your story demand letter, and I think it was also what we were getting into.
Yeah.
And there's the timeline first of all, and then there's another issue here. What if this person becomes too evasive?
Yeah, that's when now you go to court. The next step now is going to court.
Okay.
And even part of your evidence will be that demand letter. That will be your first evidence, because now you'll show court that I even tried telling him to pay me, but he has not paid me. So you'll now file the suit using this claim. You go to the judiciary portal and download this claim that we have here on the screen.
Right.
Yeah, and then you fill it. There we have said, then you'll tick now for that on money held or received. Yeah.
Do you get a mention date?
Then after not filling it and then you file it, it's normally filed in the e-filing system.
Okay.
Nowadays, all suits in Kenya filed online. So when you go, normally now for people, if you're representing yourself, you go to court, they'll show you, they'll help you open your own e-filing where you can be uploading your case.
So you just type, for purposes of those who are following us right now, and they want to do that at the moment, you just type e-filing.
E-filing portal, and then you'll sign in.
Okay,
Yeah,
right.
you will create an account.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll create an account, and then now you put in your details. There's normally numbers there, even when you open the portal, there's normally numbers there. You can call if maybe you're having any issues.
All right.
Yeah. And then now, after now, you'll even see filing of a new case. You'll click on filing of a new case, and then now they normally give you which court, if it's the Supreme Court, High Court. So for you, of course, you'll choose small claims. Yeah, and then you'll just follow the procedure.
All right.
Yeah.
So ladies and gentlemen, it's about 34 minutes past the top of the hour. We're taking a short break, so you can do what Wakili was telling you. Go to any of your websites and write e-filing portal, download e-form Tunaangalia so that you can also follow with us. In case you feel like you have a number of questions, 0795 045 864 is the number. Load simu na credit. When we will be back, tupigie simu. Text us on WhatsApp as well, 0793 267 279. Weka remote hapo chini, usiende mbali.
Download the Base app or
vile unavyojua watoto wengi sana hawana namna. Mimi ningependelea watoto wasome.
I met the stress on education. At the same time, let us actually do any kind of sport that we are doing. Sport speaks the best language to everybody.
Tunataka tutafute talents, zile raw talents kutoka kule nyumbani mashinani mahali tuko leo.
Hizi mbio za Chepsaita, like all other sports, zinaleta watu pamoja.
We want to use this event to uplift the lives of the community.
Anafurahia hii mchezo sana. Hata sikaange naambianga watu tuende Chepsaita.
Wanafunzi wakimbie ili wakuze talanta ya mbio ama kuhimiza tena elimu.
This is the place to be. Hapa ndipo mahali wanastahili kuwa tarehe 7. Wale watoto walikimbia last year, wamekimbia mpaka wamefuka mipaka zetu za Kenya.
Hey there, friends. Welcome to Kids on the Block, where fun and imagination come alive. We dive into magical world filled with exciting adventures and awesome friends.
What position were you in?
I was number 2.
What position were you?
Number 1.
He decided to cross the bridge by his house and look for food on the other side.
We're going to do half cup of chocolate chips, and the other one, we're going to do half cup of the blueberries.
So, grab your imagination hats and get ready to explore with us. Join us every Saturday at 9 a.m. for new friends, amazing stories, and tons of laughter.
Join us as we explore the journeys of those who defy the odds and break barriers. We dive deep into the stories of triumph.
Sometimes when parenting a child with a special need or whatever disability, family life becomes a bit complicated and you may end up raising the child on your own.
Here, we inspire.
I have a farm which one we showcase with other dyslexic youths and autism, how to farm.
Motivate.
It's never easy, but what we do, the best thing is to work with another parent who has an elder child than yours.
And break through the barriers one story at a time. Push your boundaries beyond the limit. Saturdays at 8 p.m.
Right, karibu sana. It is 39 minutes past the top of the hour. You're watching Morning Cafe. In case you're just joining us, on Tuesday we do a legal clinic for you to help you understand your legal matters. And before the break, we have been diving into small claims courts. These particular courts focus on disputes that are below the value of 1 million Kenyan shillings. And we've received quite a number of callers before the break. Najua sahi, the lines are busy. As one AfriFoods says here, on WhatsApp, Wakili, this is for you. He raises some very pertinent questions. Asema, good morning, good topic, but your lines are busy. Pole sana, Afri. I am James Mutua, yes, and I have a case in claims court. So a former fellow director in a company, I sue the company for not refunding him his value of investment amounting to 350,000 after he had voluntarily resigned from Registrar of Companies. My questions are 3. 1, does the claim court have the jurisdiction to settle shareholders' claims?
No, it's going to depend because he said he invested money into the company, right? So was there a contract between them? Because if it was a contract that was breached, that one small claims can handle it.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, wacha kabla Lilian kutoka Huruma apote, I'll be listing the other 2 questions za James Mutua, so Mutua shikilia hapo. Lilian, habari asubuhi?
Nzuri.
Habari ya, unatupigia ukiwa wapi?
Kutoka Bungoma.
Asante sana kwa kupiga. Uko na swali for wakili?
Yeah.
Uliza na kusikiliza.
Anauliza hivi. Kama kuna mteja amechukua mali.
Okay.
Alafu sasa like alichukua match. Vitu like 30,000. Then sasa akakataa kulipa, alipromise kulipa within 1 week juu hakuwa na pesa, ukamsaidia vitu za biashara.
Okay.
Sasa then akakaa nayo tu like 2 months, alafu kalipa kidogo like 7,000. Then akakaa tena, sasa kufika around after 3 months, sasa hataki kulipa kabisa. Anaanza kusema sasa ati hata bei ya hizo vitu sasa zimerudi chini, like tuseme kama ni sugar, that time maybe a kg was 200 shillings,
right?
But now the price is now 100, ndio a kg,
right?
So ataki kulipa the price that you sold the goods at. Now anaona because right now the prices are down, anataka it's like anataka alipie bei ya sahi. na pia anapata ugumu kulipa, anajibu tu vibaya, sitakulipa pesa yako, nini madharau.
Okay.
Yeah, what do I do? And then that filing the case in court, do I go through the police as the normal cases, criminal cases, or this one now it's just direct to the court, the way I can see Wakili saying?
Okay.
So, where is she from?
Is it Bungoma?
Unaishi wapi?
Bungoma.
Bungoma,
so utaenda Bungoma small claims court. The important kwenda kwa polisi haitakusaidia juu for criminal ni punitive, ni yetu atazambua alipe fine kotini. So that's why the best way you can get your money, upate pesa yako ni uende ufile kesi, uende Bungoma small claims. So uende ufile hiyo kesi, seek for the balance. Hiyo balance I think now it's 23,000 yenye imebaki. Alafu hizo messages zote yenye ulikuwa nayo mkiongea ukiitisha pesa yako ni part of the evidence yenye utapeana. Juu yako ni supply of goods. Si alichukua something from your shop na hakulipa. Yes. It falls under small claims, the supply of goods na hakulipa. So hata kwa hiyo form kuna stick ya kwanza goods sold and delivered. Okay. Alafu but you're not paid. Alafu una seek pamoja na interest na costs. From the time I fail kulipa, kama amekwambia na kulipa within 2 weeks. So una seek interest from that time.
Okay.
Yes.
So hiyo issue anasema anasema sasa now the prices in the market are now like 100 bob, na yeye alichukua ikiwa 200.
No, it doesn't apply. The terms hiyo time ndio ina apply. Hiyo time yenye mliagree. Contract yenu ilikuwa unamuuzia 30,000. So hiyo ndio court itaenda nayo. That's what you agreed. It doesn't matter if the price went high or low. Hiyo ndio amount that you'll be working with. It doesn't matter. Hiyo ndio time you sold the property. It's not right. You didn't sell the property at this time when the price imeenda chini.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you.
So thank you very much, Lilian. Salimia sana watu wa kule Bungoma. I was reading Mutua's question, so umejibu ya kwanza, and he's texted back amesema there was no contract, it was investment in the company.
So the safe bet is to just take it to the Chief Magistrate Court.
Not the small
Not claims. Small claims.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So I can also list his other 2 questions. One, now that I have no cash to hire a lawyer, the hearing is coming up, how can I go about responding and representing myself at the hearing? And number 2, the company is not in operation.
Okay. So the hearing is coming up. So meaning, has he been sued or is one who has already filed the suit?
Mutuo utatusaidia na hiyo jibu.
Yeah, so that at least we know how to answer him.
Yes, your messages are still coming in, so I'll keep on reading them. Good morning, I'm Mr. Onyango Isaiah from Kisumu, and I sold 2 computers to Mr. George in February 2022 at a total cost of 40,000, but he has paid 15,000 to date. He has proven very difficult in the last 1 year. What can I do? We're both in Kisumu, but we can't meet since he is very slippery.
Yeah, so the best is, the good thing, what you need when you want to sue someone is, first, the people who have paid part payment. It's normally the best case.
Okay.
Because you don't have to when you're going to court, you already have evidence this person has paid partial payment.
Right.
So, and so long as you have their number, WhatsApp number or email, you don't need to serve them personally. You serve them through the numbers that are registered under their name. So for him, he can sue him. If he says he's slippery, he doesn't have to serve him physically. So he'll just sue him. He can go to, when he files the suit in court, and serve him through his WhatsApp number. Yeah.
Right. We have a Fidel Boom, and can I file a fresh claim at the small claim court after the first claim was dismissed for want of prosecution? Gives a context here. I was unable to get into the virtual link to the court despite many attempts, which led to the dismissal of the case. My application for reinstatement of the case was also closed by the court from the e-filing portal without any response to me. I'm claiming over 100,000 from a university which is almost hitting the 6-year limitation period. Can the court entertain the same matter since the first was dismissed without a hearing? That is Michael.
Yeah, so first of all, you said he's claiming from the university, so I hope it's not employment, first of all. Because if it's not employment, he's lucky because he can just go to the Chief Magistrate under Employment and Labour Court.
Okay.
But now for him, if your case is dismissed, want of prosecution means you filed a case and you didn't show up. So if that's why he's supposed to, but you said he's filed an application. You normally file an application explaining why. Now for him, he has a reason.
Okay.
He was not able to log in. He had technical issues.
Right.
So you file an application before court and request your matter to be reinstated. let him not file a new suit. It's risky because now that will be, if he sues, the university will just call that res judicata. You can't sue someone twice. Yeah, the same cause. So the best thing is for him to make he said his application, he can make his application because they'll have to respond to your application. Yeah, just requesting for your case to be reinstated, and you give reasons why you didn't attend during that time.
All right. I have another question here. Hello, I'm Jen. Someone claimed to give him money against some land in a land scheme. This has not been forthcoming. The amount is over 100,000. He has been saying he'll give back the money. Can I go to small claims court, or is this a criminal case?
So, land scheme.
Sorry?
He says it's a land scheme.
Yes, but then even as you also prepare for that, Nicholas kutoka Kisii. Nicholas, habari asubuhi.
Hello?
Yes, Nicholas, habari asubuhi.
I'm fine. There is something I had to find out.
Yes.
I went for a small claims court. I represented myself, and I paid 200 shillings during the registration.
Okay.
During filing.
All right.
But when I had another case, I went with an advocate. The problem is that there is something I have to find out.
Nicholas, kindly fanya hivi. Punguza sauti ya TV, alafu endelea.
Nimetoka nje.
Umetoka, sawa, good, endelea.
So when I went myself to represent myself during filing, I filed with the 200 shillings.
Okay.
I had another similar case. I went to an advocate and was asking me 10,000 to file the case. What's that difference?
Okay. So we have an advocate.
What is that difference? Okay. That when I go to an advocate, is asking me a lot of money to file, just to file. But in this case, when I represent myself, it is rather very quickly, and it just pay 200 shillings. What is that discrepancy for?
So thank you for that question, Nicholas. Kutoka Kisii. This is now putting you on the spot here.
Yeah.
Wakili. Defend yourself before the jury that is the public.
Yeah. So of course, you know, that's why when you file the suit on your own, you don't need the legal services of an advocate. But remember, if you're coming to me, you're also getting my expertise in the case. It's not only like I'm just going to get the case, even drafting. That's what I was telling you. For us, even you don't use this format, we'll draft it differently to make sure at least your case has more evidence. Yeah, so that's why, of course, as a lawyer, they'll charge for their services. This is the work we do. Yeah, even for that lawyer charged less. That's not the market price.
Interesting.
Yes.
And something that, before we move away from all that, something that even I think the previous caller had said, and one of the people who have talked to us on WhatsApp saying they represent themselves, and it seems as if a number of people do that a lot. So one would wonder, why do I need you as an advocate if you've explained to me all this and I can actually go to the whole point? How much value am I getting from the lawyer?
So even the first one is the message you've just read, someone whose case was dismissed because of want of prosecution.
Right.
For a lawyer, that will not happen, because the moment we have contacts of the clerks in court, so the moment I log in and I'm being logged out, you will find a way of making sure before the end of the day, you have communicated that to court. So that's the important things of a lawyer. And then the second thing is, some people, of course, when you're filing your case, you don't know what kind of evidence you have to attach. Right. After all, even for the demand letter, most people don't even need to do a demand letter. And I've seen most courts, they won't give you costs if you didn't do a demand letter first. So what I bring into the table, what a lawyer will bring into the table is ensuring, and also the issue, how you even present your case and the evidence. Because sometimes you might have presented your case, but you didn't give your evidence. You remember the example I gave you, someone prints out the WhatsApp messages with the name. Yes. Your burden of proof will not be very high even before court, for court to believe your case. Right. So that's why I think if you can afford a lawyer, you can use a lawyer. But also there's an option of you can just get legal opinion from the lawyer. Okay. You do the filing yourself, but let the lawyer advise you. Right. Yes.
Because I mean, so far we've realized that there's some very subtle things that if you're representing yourself, you may not be aware of, and you may miss out. We were answering Jen's question before Nicholas called, and I'll just repeat it for the sake of those who did not hear it. Hello, I'm Jen. Someone claimed to give, I'm just quoting as she has it, someone claimed to give him money against some land in a land scheme. This has not been forthcoming. The amount is over 100,000. He has been saying he'll give back the money. Can I go to the small claims court, or is this a criminal case?
That's an ELC matter, environment and land matter.
All right.
So I would advise, it's risky for you to take that to a small claims because the moment you sue them, they'll come and file a PO.
Okay.
Preliminary objection, objecting, the court doesn't have jurisdiction to hear that matter. So that's why I would advise that person to file the case in the Chief Magistrate Court under ELC, under Environment and Land Court.
Right.
Because it's a land matter. For criminal, she can try criminal, but remember criminal, you can file both, by the way, that's the thing. You can file both criminal and civil, but remember criminal, at no point will you be given back your money. Yes.
All right. I'm actually have a caller right now. Tunazungumza na nani?
Nazungumza na Andrew Ayoti.
Yes, habari asubuhi.
Kutoka hapa Nairobi Imara Daima.
Okay, sawa. I hope umezima TV.
Na watu wawili walinikopa pesa, walikuwa na chama. Walikuwa na sako ya kazi yao. Wakaniambia niwapatie pesa walipe, wakirie balance ndio wapatiwe loan, wakipatiwa loan wanilipe my balance.
Okay.
Lakini sasa mmoja anaendelea kunilipa, ako karibu kumaliza since 2020. Lakini huyo mwingine hajawahi kunilipa hata ndururu. Sasa yeye alienda akanyamaza kabisa.
Okay.
Ndapataje usaidizi?
Sawa. Shikilia tu hapo. Wakili atakuwa nakusaidia.
So hiyo mulikuwa na agreement, written agreement?
Hatukuwa na agreement, lakini niko na usaidi na mwenye nilitia na yeye walikuwa kwa hiyo, lakini hiyo pesa nilienda kawatumia kutoka kwa bank direct kwa sako yao, lakini niko na hiyo mareceipt niliwatumia pesa.
So hiyo that's going to...
Mmoja anaendelea kunilipa, huyo mwingine hajawahi kunilipa since 2020 mpaka sasa hivi.
So hiyo pia unaweza peleka amount ni ngapi? Approximately
400,000. Huyo mwingine na yeye 400,000, lakini yeye amelipa amepakisha 160.
Sasa hiyo unaweza peleka small claims. Alafu unaweza request huyu mwenye analipa akwe one of your witnesses ya kuconfirm apart from the receipts.
Wawili huyo arabu na kuna mwingine alikuwa ni kuwapatia hiyo pesa.
Ndio nilikuwa unaweza utapeleka hiyo kesi small claims, alafu utatumia hizo receipts na hiyo messages zenye umekuwa ukifuatilia pesa kama evidence. Alafu bado unaweza request huyu mwenye yeye analipa kama anaweza kubali kwa witness wako akuja confirm ni kweli mlipewa pesa pamoja na yeye amekuwa akilipa na yeye hajalipa.
Wanakubali wote wawili hawa witness wako sawa.
So utachukua pia kama witnesses wako ukipeleka kesi yako small claims. So hiyo kama unaweza afford wakili unaweza tafuta wakili, but kama uwezi unaweza enda tu court. Juu umesema uko Nairobi, unaweza enda Milimani small claims. Yes.
Na sasa nataka advice yako kuenda koti na kutafuta wakili ni nini itakuwa mzuri?
Kama unaweza afford wakili, mimi naweza kuadvise udeal na wakili juu venye tuko tunasema makosa kidogo inaweza fanya lose wewe kuwin kesi. Tunaona kama kuna mwenye alisema alikosa kulog in, juu siku hizi court ni online. Alikosa kulog in, alafu kesi yake ikatupiliwa mbali. So kama unaweza afford wakili, uende tu wakili akupe quotation, uone kama ni pesa uko sawa nayo kulipa, alafu proceed nayo hivyo.
Okay, sawa, asante.
Sawa.
Asante sana Andrew, salimia sana watu wa Imara Daima.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're still looking at a number of other questions here. There's a very interesting one here. My area chief conned me 249,000, claiming atanipeleka za serikali majuu na job was sought by government of Kenya. What can I do as chief has turned the chiefs as a recruitment agency? Ask the lawyer.
So, hapo sasa unajua the terms of the contracts, because you know there you can't go to court and say this person took my money and I was paying for a bribe. So that one it will depend on how you have to find a way of, you can't go to, we normally say you can't go to court with dirty hands. Yeah, you know you can't go to court saying that I paid for this bribe and I didn't. So maybe you can still go to court but restructure it. Just say you give this person money for maybe call it maybe to facilitate something. Yeah, you can still go, but don't use that term that he was to pay someone to get him a job. Yeah, he has to formulate it in a different way. That one I would advise you get a lawyer.
Right.
We'll find a way of formulating it. So that by the way, this is now another thing. So people, as much as you're filing your own case, don't, like if it was a bribe for someone to give you a job, be careful because you might be even compromising yourself. Yes.
So panaingia kwa mahakama na mikono chafu. Another question here. Thank you for the good program. My question is, I went to a small claims court who gave a verdict for a debt to be paid in 6 installments. My debtor only paid 2 installments and stopped with promise to pay which have not been honored. It is now 5 months. Can I go back to court and report this with the same reference number? This person is in Mombasa.
No, when court has given its judgment for someone to pay you within a certain period, the repercussion is normally if this person doesn't pay you within that period, you can execute.
Okay.
So for you don't have to actually go, you just go back. Normally the filing system, after the case has closed, you've gotten judgment, there's the option of post-judgment claims.
Right.
So you just go to the filing system, and then post-judgment you request for a decree. You request for a decree, and then the next thing you request for warrants of attachment. You get an auctioneer you can work with, the auctioneer, and then now you put the auctioneer's names are normally there, you key in their name, it will appear, and then you can get warrants. You can basically execute, whereby you just, maybe you sell a movable property that belongs to the person who owes you the money.
Right.
Yeah, so you don't have to go back to court. Court already gave you judgment. You have like a course of action. You execute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Muto is back on the SMSs, and we're just trying to understand and give more of the same. So we had his matter pending. He was asking the fact that he has a case in claims court, and he said that he was sued by the former director who was served with court documents, and the hearing is coming up. That was the matter that you're asking. Has he been sued? So for this case, how does Mutua go about it?
So he has already been sued, and hope he has put in his response, because when the person sues you, they serve you with a claim. So hope he has put in his response to before the hearing.
Right.
He has put in his documents. Then now during the hearing, what normally happens, of course, now you will, if he's representing himself, he will ask, because the director who sued him will maybe, if he has a lawyer, they'll do examination in chief, he can be asked to cross-examine. But I normally advise when it comes to hearings, if you can't get a lawyer, even to just handle for you the hearing bit.
All right.
Yes.
There's a question here by Fidel Boom, I believe, in your username yake. What's up? Does the res judicata principle apply to a case which is summarily terminated by the small claims court without hearing parties on its merits?
It doesn't. If the case has not been heard on its merits, res judicata won't apply. Res judicata applies if the case was heard on its merits. But if, for instance, so that doesn't mean if your case is dismissed for lack of jurisdiction, you can't take it back.
Right.
Take it now to the right court.
Okay.
Now, at least now the other party cannot claim res judicata.
Okay. For layman's term, unawezasaidia watu wako pale mashinani hawelewi res judicata.
Okay, res judicata is kama hivyo ilikuwa tunasema about sasa Wendy and Abel owing 5,000. If Abel sue Wendy na hiyo 5,000 na the 5,000 apate 5,000 yake, aizi sue tena anywhere in Kenya.
Right.
Do akimsue tena, that means now it becomes res judicata. You're suing someone with the same cause of action, with the same facts, like you can't, it's not allowed legally.
All right.
Yes.
So one would wonder, because so far we've taken a look at all this SMSs and even the callers, and picking from that, and particularly Ule or Andrew from Imara Daima, a number of things that he raises. So first off, can you actually sue 2 people or more than one person? Because he says that he has 2 people who have his money, and it was through a chama. So help us understand that, because there is the brotherly agreement we'll just have between you and I. But then now if it's through kama ni chama sasa, then that again becomes another thing.
Yeah, you can sue more than one person, first of all, but now here you have to be careful. Did you enter the contact with the individuals personally or through the chama? Was it a registered chama? So, because if it's a registered chama, you have to sue that chama, not the people. It depends. Unless now it was personal. But now, according to him, I think they were guaranteeing. So if it's personal, because you said even one is paying personally. Yeah, so you can sue. Yeah, you can sue more than 2 people. So for him, he can sue the 2 people. Yes.
Okay, so even for the process is still the same. For the demand letter, you give each of them.
The only difference now will be for you now the parties. For you, will have more parties, and that's another thing now where this one may not help, because this one it's like it predicts. Well, anyway, it can still work. Because you'll put in, because sometimes you're suing even like 5 people. Yeah.
Okay, right.
So this becomes now limited in a way. That's why I was telling you, at some point, this draft, it's more of a guideline. But this one was written as a guideline. You don't have to actually use, because sometimes, now imagine if it's maybe your brief facts, the part of the brief facts, your facts is more, you feel you need to give more facts. Yeah.
Right. So the biggest question that so many of these people have is, at the end of the day, I go to the court. There's a pension date, for example, and it's, let's say, this coming Monday. And then this person does not appear in court. Tutumie tu ile example yetu ya Abel and Wendy. We say Wendy ndio nafaa rudishe pesa. Abel amejaribu everything. And Wendy, on that Monday, Wendy does not appear in court.
Yeah, so if Wendy does not appear in court, Abel has to prove service. Because you know sometimes court has to confirm the reason this person has not come, it's their own valuation. It's not like they were not served. They didn't know about the date.
Right.
So that's why you'll see court, you have to file an affidavit of service confirming I served this person. That's why you'll see court asking, did you serve the other party? Is there evidence before court? So that's why you'll find even when you're attending court, someone will say, we served them on this day, we even have affidavit of service on record. So if court confirms you served them the hearing notice and they just decided not to come in, you can request for default judgment.
Okay.
Default judgment, you seek it when the other party has not entered appearance or filed their response. So court gives you a default judgment and you automatically get a decree. Yes.
Right. So in layman's terms, what does that really mean?
What it means is like court gives you judgment based on your case. Okay. Like now for Abel and Wendy, now Abel will be given the 5,000 plus interest and costs.
But it's Wendy who's supposed to pay this.
Yeah, and Wendy will pay, yeah, because now for you have been served. That's a court confirmed service. You're the one who decided. So by you failing to respond to it, it's like you're admitting to those facts.
Okay.
Yes.
But so one would wonder, okay, fine. Wendy has been told by the court, but they're the bulipa Abel. But how does the court convince, for a polite word, Wendy to pay Abel?
No, now that court, you know what court will do? They'll give you the judgment. Like you've won, you're supposed to be paid your 5,000.
Okay.
So what happens? That's why after there, now you execute. So Abel now will follow up. Abel is required, if it's judgment in default, you have to serve the other party that a judgment has been entered against you. You're supposed to pay this amount. And you're supposed to give them like 7 days, 14 days for them to either, they're given another chance. But that only happens when it's default judgment. You still give, Abel will still give Wendy another chance to pay. Now judgment will, after that, if they don't pay, you get auctioneers who can go and even they can take anything, any of his, even the phone and sell it and pay back the money.
Oh,
yeah.
Right.
Now, that's the thing. I think most people, their frustration is normally, this person has already taken me up and down. What will court do differently?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the thing. What will court do differently?
Okay.
So what court will do differently is you can now legally get auctioneers to get your money. So if that person drives a car, auctioneers can attach that property legally, sell it, and then you get your money.
Right.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, you hear this, manenos. We have about like 10 minutes to wrap up, but then we're taking a short break. Kunywe maji kidogo, najua hata where you really need it. You've been writing notes, continue doing that. You can also call us live when we come back, 0795 045 864. We'll make sure we may settle all those doubts that you have pertaining hii matter yote ya filing a case in a small claims court. Don't go too far.
Vile unavyojua watoto wengi sana hawana namna. Mimi ningependelea watoto wasome.
I'm here to stress on education. At the same time, let us actually do any kind of sport that we are doing. Sport speaks the best language to everybody.
Tunataka tutafute talents, zile raw talents kutoka kule nyumbani mashinani mahali tuko leo.
Hizi mbio za Chepsaita, like all other sports, zinaleta watu pamoja.
We want use this event to uplift the lives of the community.
Anafurahia hii mchezo sana. Hata sikaange naambianga watu tuende Japsaita.
Wanafunzi wakimbie ili wakuze talanta ya mbio ama kuhimiza tena elimu.
This is the place to be. Hapa ndipo mahali wanastahili kuwa tarehe 7. Wale watoto walikimbia last year wamekimbia mpaka wamefuka mipaka zetu za Kenya.
Hey there, friends. Welcome to Kids on the Block, where fun and imagination come alive. We dive into magical world filled with exciting adventures and awesome friends.
What position were you in?
I was number 2.
What position were you?
Number 1.
He decided to cross the bridge by his house and look for food on the other side.
We're going to do half cup of chocolate chips, and the other one, we're going to do half cup of the blueberries.
So, grab your imagination hats and get ready to explore with us. Join us every Saturday at 9 a.m. for new friends, amazing stories, and tons of laughter.
Join us as we explore the journeys of those who defy the odds and break barriers. We dive deep into the stories of triumph.
Sometimes when parenting a child with a special need or whatever disability, family life becomes a bit complicated and you may end up raising the child on your own.
Here, we inspire.
I have a farm which one we showcase with other dyslexic youths and autism how to farm.
Motivate.
It's never easy, but what we do, the best thing is to work with another parent who has an elder child than yours.
And break through the barriers one story at a time. Push your boundaries beyond the limit. Saturdays at 8 p.m. The Grind, where business meets brilliance. It's not just about the ideas.
I was working as a shampoo boy. I used to wash clients' hair on the sink.
It's about making them happen. From big wins.
In primary school, when we would be asked what people want to be, I was categorical that I want to be a nurse.
When you go to the e-filing, you say small claims court.
Right.
The first thing is the court, which court are you filing? And then the next thing is where in Kenya. So even you can be here in Nairobi and you file a case in Busia or Malaba.
Right.
Even as lawyers, we have cases all over the country, but you just attend virtually. It's normally safer for you, like legally, to file, or where the cause of, it doesn't have anyway. For instance, in the scenario we had, there are 3 options you have: where the defendant stays, where the cause of action arose. For instance, for personal injury, if the accident happened in Thika, you have to sue in Thika. And then if it's a performance of a contract, maybe someone is paying you money for you to supply something from, the contract is supposed to be performed in Kajiado, you file in Kajiado. You can file where the contract is supposed to be, the cause of action, the issue arose, where the defendant resides, and also where the contract is supposed to be performed. You can, even where you reside, you can, but it's normally safer for you to sue where the defendant, the respondent now in this case, for small claims, normally a claimant and a respondent, where the respondent resides.
Right.
Yes.
So far we've really focused on madeni hapa na pale, and rightfully so many people really are interested in that, and even from the callers and even texts. But there's also something that you've mentioned, which the Small Claims Court also focuses on, the personal injury.
Yes.
So again, now let's still have Abel and Wendy here. Wendy, let's say ndio ameumizwa sasa, in whatever kind of way. How does the Small Claims Court again look at this as well? Because I mean here, is there the case of the value of 1 million or less? Because now this is just a personal injury.
Yeah, it's a personal injury. So based on, normally, that's one of the evidence. That you have said you have to have evidence.
Yes.
For money and everything, you're saying contracts, messages. For this one, you have to have evidence of medical documents.
Okay.
Yeah, whereby, not based on for you how much you've spent. If, let's say now, Abel hit Wendy, maybe with his motorcycle or his car. And then now Wendy goes to the hospital and then she spends, let's say, 200,000 for treatment. You see now automatically you'll go to, because you're going to get a compensation, you can take it to small claims. But now you have to back it with evidence. So that's why for personal injury, your evidence is going to be medical reports from, and it has to be from a certified medical doctor. It has to be legit documents.
Right.
You can't just go and get it from a random hospital that is not registered. The doctor who is not even, doesn't have even a license. Yeah, so, and then you put in your evidence. That's how court is going to compensate you.
For the personal injury, as well as for property, damage of property.
Yeah, damage.
What is a thin line, or rather, do you feel like there's a thin line between the civil aspect of personal injury and the criminal aspect of it?
Now, that's what I said. The problem with criminal, you won't be compensated. But the good thing, what criminal helps you is, if you win a case in criminal, then you bring it to civil, it's automatic. You will win that case. Yes. Because now you've already won it in criminal case. Court has said it's true. This person has been found liable. So, and then maybe the person pays a fine. That's even you can back that evidence for the criminal case in your civil case.
Right.
Yes. It's just that everyone must know that if you're taking someone this criminal way to the police, you will not be compensated for your money at the end of it. But for civil is when now you can get damages.
All right.
Yes.
We've really touched on quite a number of issues here, very pertinent. For someone who, the whole 1 hour, they're still really trying to grasp all this, just your final thoughts, something that they should remember this morning, even as they either seek ways to kulipa madeni wako nayo, ama wakitafuta watu wako na madeni yao.
Yeah, so from practice, I've noticed what people are normally scared of is at the end journey, like, this person is I'm already struggling to get this person to pay me. But now the good thing is, when you file your case in court, and the good thing what court will give you is, at least you can have the option of auctioning those properties. There are any movable property, or getting your money legally using auctioneers. So I think people should embrace, don't be, because I've noticed someone has not paid me for 6 months. You don't have to wait that long. The moment you feel like this person is delaying and this person is not going to pay you your money, start by sending a demand letter. Then this court has been made by court made it for everyone, easy access of justice.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why you see it's something you can represent yourself. When you go to small claims, you'll find magistrates being kind. Magistrate even will guide you, will be like, file this document. File a mention notice and serve the other party. They'll even guide you. Yeah, so people should not be scared of, like, of course I can afford a lawyer, and now representing myself, it seems like it's something that will be impossible. It's very easy. When you go to small claims, adjudicators have been put in a position whereby they guide you. Right. They'll also guide you for your case.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Ruth Tanui, an advocate of the High Court. Thank you very much for helping us understand this whole process. Ladies and gentlemen, according to Chief Justice Martha Koome, speaking around February there, said there are about 50,000 cases have been heard and resolved in the 37